Welcome back to the second part of this build, Discord clone. So we have already created the front end for this application in my first part. If you have not watched the first part of this build, go back, or simply you guys will get the link of the first part in the description. If you have not watched the first part, this part will mainly focus on the Redux and the backend stuff and the Google authentication or the user authentication in this build. So this build is dedicated only for the Redux. If you guys find Redux hard to digest, or if you guys find the Redux hard to understand, so I will make the Redux very simple, and I will teach you about the Redux in a simple way with this application. So are you guys excited? Or if you guys are excited for this build, hit the like button and subscribe this channel for more awesome build just like this. So if you guys have any doubt or query regarding this build or the previous build or the part first of this application, make sure to drop your comments down below in the comment section. I will answer or reply each and every comment. I will make sure for that. So let's go and create this backend functionality in for this build. So we have already created the front end here. Now it's time to do the backend stuff here. So let's go to the coding zone here. So here I'm going to simply make it smaller. As you guys can see here, it is highly responsive here, so I will make it a bit smaller. Okay, now fine. Here let's go to the source directory here. So we have created a component here. Now let's go back to the app.js here. So first of all, we guys going to do a front end. We have done the front end here. Now we are going to do the back end here. So we are guys using the Firebase authentication. So for the Firebase authentication or the Firebase authentication powered by the Firebase, you guys have to simply grab the config from the project that you have already created on the Firebase. So we have already set up our Firebase or simply configured our Firebase project earlier in the part first. If you have not watched that, you guys can simply watch that part first of all and then continue it from here. So as you guys here, you can see here we have this settings icon. Click on this settings icon, click on this project setting. So inside of this project setting, as you guys can see at the very bottom of the page, as you guys can see here, we have this config. Inside of this config, as you guys can see here, we have this Firebase config object here. Grab this object here, copy these things here. Okay, here inside of this here, I'm going to simply create another I'm going to simply create another file with the name of Firebase. Okay, so I'm going to simply create another file inside the source directory with the name of firebase.js. Fine. Okay, so inside of this firebase.js, paste the config file here. Okay, so prior to use any Firebase services, you guys have to install the Firebase inside your project directory first of all. So you guys have to simply install the Firebase dependencies first of all. So let's go to install the Firebase first of all. So for this, you guys have to simply open the terminal, or inside this terminal you guys have to simply fire the command npm i Firebase. So it will install the Firebase dependencies and all the Firebase features or functionality that you guys are using in this build. So I'm going to simply install the Firebase first of all here. So it will install all the features, all the dependencies that is required to use the Firebase authentication, Firebase backend stuff, and the Firebase storage here. So it will take some time for installing the Firebase inside your dependency. Okay, so give it some time. Okay, so we have successfully installed the Firebase inside our project build. Now it's time to import the Firebase. So inside of this firebase.js file, I'm going to simply import the Firebase. So import Firebase from Firebase. Fine. Okay. Next, it's time to initialize the Firebase app. So I'm going to simply make a object Firebase app, and we'll use a Firebase dot initialize app, and will pass the object Firebase config inside this function as inside this function as an argument. Got it? Fine. Okay, so we have this Firebase app is equal to Firebase dot initialize app, and we have passed the object inside the as an argument in the initialize app. Okay, so we are going to use the Firebase Cloud Store feature. So we'll be use Firebase Cloud Store feature. So for this, we have this const db an object for accessing the database of Firebase app dot firestore function for doing or pushing data directly or fetching data directly from the Firebase Firestore. We will use the authentication functionality, so that's why we are going to create a auth object here of Firebase dot auth for authorization. So Firebase dot auth function will do all the authorization here. And next, we are going to use a provider. So for this provider, we will use a Firebase dot auth dot Google provider. So Google auth provider function. Okay, now next we will export each and everything one by one. So we will export the auth and the provider here just like this, and we'll export the db. So we will export db default db just like this. So we guys can be able to use this object or database object anywhere in our project. Okay, so fine, we have done with this Firebase setup here or Firebase file here. Now save this. Let's go to your app.js, or inside this app.js we are guys going to do all this stuff, all the authentication stuff here. So basically we will create a user authentication here. So how we are guys going to implement these things inside here. So let's go to your app.js, and inside of this app.js we are going to use the ternary operator for these things to be happen. So for this I'm going to import the authorization. So I'm going to simply import the auth first of all from the local Firebase file, firebase.js file that we have created recently. So I'm going to simply import the auth from the Firebase. Okay, so basically after that here we are guys going to use, or we are guys going to implement the are going to create a user state here. So how we guys going to create the user state? So it's time to start the Redux or the backend stuff here. So it is a very important thing you guys have to learn about this Redux, because it is very important for all for you guys. So here let's go inside here. So inside of this feature we have this counter. So I'm going to simply delete these things, counter.js and the counter.module.css first of all. So delete these things here. Okay, fine. Next, grab this counter/.js here and delete the counter directory here from this. So delete this counter, fine, and grab this counter slice and put it back inside the features. Fine. Okay, inside of this counter slice we are guys going to create a user state. So that's why we will rename this a user slice here. So we will rename this a user slice just like this. Fine. Okay, now inside of this user slice we will create a user slice. So here, as you guys can see here, we have this counter slice. So I will simply rename this and make it a user slice. Okay, after that, inside of this user slice we are guys going to create a two function, a login function and the logout functionality. So we are going to store the state for the state for the users store the state for the user when the user will log in, or simply dispatch all the information that we will get from the that we will get after authenticating user. So basically, to create a user state here, as you guys can see here, we have this name. So instead of this counter, I will simply rename this with the user. And here for the initial state, so for this initial state we have this user. So for this initial state, user will be null. So here, as you guys can see here, initially we user will be null just like this. Fine. Okay, inside of this reducers we guys have a bunch of functions here. So we will have the login function, and the login function have two we have this state for the login function, and we will have the action also. So put it inside this parenthesis just like this. Okay, so instead of this state dot value we have state dot user, state dot user. Okay, and state dot user is equal to state dot user equals to action dot action dot payload. Okay, fine. And after that, after this we will have a logout function. So for this logout, then for the after the for this logout function, the state will be user dot state dot user will be null. So when user will be log out, then the user will be set back to the null just like this. Got it? Fine. Next, grab this increment here and remove this first of all here. Okay, so we have this user login reducer and the logout reducer just like this. Okay, we have this action dot payload which will contain a bunch of information about the user that we will get directly from the Google that we will get the Google information from there. So that's why the action dot payload will be dispatch all the information here, and it will simply store the information in the in store.js. So we have this login and the logout functionality, and now it's time to simply export this functionality. So first of all, grab this, delete this. Instead of this decrement, I'm going to simply log out the we have this logout reducer and we have this login reducer. Got it? And instead of this counter slice we have user slice just like this, user slice dot actions. Okay, fine. Grab this thing, delete this thing, get rid of this also. Fine. Next, after this we have a select user. So we will simply instead of this select count, we have this select user, and we have this state, and then state dot user for the user, because we have already given the name here. This is user, so that's why we have this state dot user. Now it's time to simply export the user dot reducer. Okay, now we have successfully created this user slice. Fine. Now save this, go back to your app.js, and now inside this store you guys have this counter reducer. So instead of this counter reducer, grab this and delete this, and here we have this user. So we have the user reducer, and we have this user reducer. Okay, so simply import this user reducer. So import this user reducer here. So how you guys going to import this user reducer? So you guys have to simply import the user reducer from the features, but inside this feature we have this as user slice. So So here at the very top, you guys have to simply import here. So simply import user user reducer. Okay, user reducer from features. Okay, it is not form, it is form from features. Got it? Features slash user slice. Got it? Fine. So we have this. We have already imported the user reducer from the features user slice here. Now shape this. Okay, so we have successfully created a user slice here. Now let's go back to your app.js. So basically we have successfully created a user state here and simply stored this. Now we let's go back to your app.js. So we have done the redux stuff for the user here. Okay, so fine, we want that we want the login, logout, and each and everything inside of this app here. So how we are guys going to do this? So basically we have to simply authenticate the user first of all. So I will do this thing in by using the ternary operator. So basically if there is a user, then we will throw the user to this component, this sidebar and the chat component, and if there is no user, then we will throw it to the login component. So how we are guys going to achieve this? So here inside here for this app we have, I'm just going to create a object here. So const user, I will use the use selector. So use selector just like this, use selector, and simply import it from React Redux. So import it from the React Redux, and inside of this use selector we have this select user and simply import it from the user slice. Got it? So we have this user here. Fine. Next we are going to use here the use effect here. So inside of this use effect we have, I'm going there is a callback function here, and here we have this auth. So first of all, so basically I'm going to simply import the use effect here from React. So import the use effect from React here. So we have this use effect here. Okay, import it from React. Okay, fine. Use effect. Got it? Fine. So basically it is a callback function here. So we have this auth. So we have already imported the auth from the Firebase. So auth dot on a state changed. Auth dot on a state change means that when there will be a user. Okay, so when there is an auth changed here, so we have this auth user just like this, and we have this arrow function here. So basically I will simply console out the console dot log, and we will simply console out the user. So simply user is, and we will have this bunch of option for the here. So we will have this auth user, and we will get these things inside our console in the build. Okay, fine. Next if there is auth user, then we will simply dispatch the login functionality. So if there is authorized user, means if the user is authenticated, then how we are going to do this? So simply we will simply dispatch this. So prior to use a dispatch, you guys have to simply create a dispatch object here. So simply create a dispatch object. So const dispatch equals to use dispatch. So use dispatch or import it from the React Redux. So import use dispatch just like this. Fine. Next, so here we are going to simply dispatch the login functionality here. So we will have this login, and here inside this login we will dispatch the following information, just like the name of the user and the display name of the user, UID, unique ID, the email of the user, the photo of the user, and everything. So import this login from the user slicer. Okay, fine. Now next we have this dispatch functionality here. Okay, now if there is, if it is if there is if the user is not authenticated, then we will simply dispatch the logout functionality. So simply dispatch the logout. Simply dispatch logout just like this. So simply import the logout also from here. Fine. So simply we have logout, we have this logout. Fine. Next, and it will depend, this use effect will depend on the dispatch here. So dispatch will dispatch, so it will simply depend on the dispatch for each and every user. For the different user, it will going to run for that user for that time. So use effect is a very powerful hook here. So we have this use effect, and it will simply depend on the dispatch here. So if there is a different user, when we have a different user, then it will throw the different username, and means that this use effect will going to run for that user once in a lifetime. Got it? Next, we have this. Fine. Now we have the user here. So basically I will use a ternary operator here. Means if there is just like this, if there is a user, then we will render. So if there is a user, then we will render this thing, or we will render this thing like this. So I will grab this sidebar or chat inside this. Okay, fine. Here, and if there is no user, then we will thrown back to the login. So we have to create a login component also here. So it is throwing error because I'm going to use empty fragment of the answer, so that's why it is throwing error. Make it like this. Okay, fine. Now it's time to create a login component here. So how you guys create a login? So go back to your components, or inside this component create a file login.js and login.css for doing the CSS stuff. So we have this login.css. Fine. Okay, so inside of this login, create a functional component. So RFCE, it will generate a inside of this login RFCE, it will generate a functional component here. Obey the main convention. Give a class name here, class name of login, just like this. Fine. And here this is login for testing purposes. Got it? Now for using this, I'm going to simply import. Okay, fine. I'm going to simply import this login.css. So import login.css. Fine. Now save this. Go back to your app.js here, because we have this login. So simply import the login from the source component and this login. So simply click okay. So we have this login. Now save this. Go back. Okay, make it a bit smaller. Okay. Now next we have this deployed version here. So you guys can see here on refreshing, you guys will be seen. Sorry for the background noise, guys. So okay, so let's refresh this. Okay, so as you guys we have refreshed this. As you guys can see here, we have not authenticated the user, so that's why we are thrown back to the login page here. You guys can see here we are back to the login page. So let's go to login.js. Now you guys can see here we are back to the login page. So it's time to create a login page here. So here you guys can see here for the login page here. So get rid of this hard-coded login page here. First of all, delete this. Okay, so let's go back to the deployed version here. So as you guys can see here, we have this avatar here, or the photo here. On clicking this photo, you guys will simply thrown back to the login page. Means on clicking this photo, you guys will be log out from this application. So click on this page, as click on the photo. As you guys can see, we are back to the login page here. So we are guys going to create the login component here. So for this login component, you guys can see here, we have this nice logo of Discord. So I'm going to simply copy the address of the image here. So we have this image we have this login logo. I'm going to simply wrap the image inside another div, the class name login, login logo. Got it? Fine. Close this div, okay. Okay, so here you guys can see here we have this login logo. Fine, we have a image tag, so we are going to use the image tag here. So we have this image, and for this image we will have a source and we will have a alt also. So fine, so for this source I will going to simply paste the source here. Fine, and we have this image here. Okay, fine. Next, you guys can see here I have given my name here, designed and developed by CodeWithAki. So I'm going to simply give a name, h2 tag, wrap this inside, wrap it inside the h2. Okay, fine. Inside of this I'm going to simply pass here design and developed by CodeWithAki. Fine. Next, we have this button. Now you guys can see here we have this button, so I'm going to use the button here. So we have this button and we will use a material UI button. So for this we have this button. Okay, import the button directly from the material UI code. So we have this button. Fine. Okay, so for this button we have, I'm going to giving I will give a class name here. So class name, sorry for the background noise, it is a pet dog, so that's why it is making a lot of noise in the background. So you guys understand, bear this noise for some time. So we have this button with the name of sign in. So basically we have this button here. Okay, now I'm going to simply do the CSS stuff here. So go back to login.css, and here we have this login. So we have this login. Fine, go back to our deployed here version here. Now you guys can see here we have all these images and all these buttons is now rendering on the screen. So we will do the CSS stuff for the login here. So here I will give the display of grid. You guys can see here I will give a display of grid, not flags. We have given the display of grid, and place, I will simply place the items to the center. Place items to the center, and will give the height of 100 view height and width of 100%. Got it? Next, we have login. Inside of this login we have a login button. So we have inside of this login we have this button. So simply install the button here. So for the button I will give the width of 300 pixel. Fine. We'll give the background color, a background color of the Discord background color, that is 738 ADB. Okay, save this. I will change the color of the text here. So EFF to F5. Got it? Next, let's give the font weight. So font weight of 800. Okay, and text transform. So simply transform the text to inherit. So inherit. Fine. Now save this. We have done this. Now next, it's time to simply install the do the hover effect here. So I will going to simply make it look nice. So I'm going to simply add a hover effect here. So let me grab this and paste it here. So we have this login. Inside of this login we have this button, and on hover let's change the background color. So on hover I will simply change the background color to the black. So I'm going to simply change the background color to the black. Fine. And we'll change the color text color to the color of the Discord here. Okay, so delete this thing also, and delete this thing, text transform and everything from here. Fine. Now save this. Fine. Next, it's time to simply style. Now you guys can see here we have a nice hover effect here. Okay, now it's time to simply style div also. So we have this login, and inside of this login we have this div. So display display a flex. Now save this, and we will simply give the flex reduction column. So we have this flex reduction column. Now save this. Okay, fine. Next, it's time to simply style the image here. So we have this login. And inside of this login we have this div, and inside of this we have this image tag. For the image tag, I will simply give the object fit of content. It will take care of the aspect ratio, and height will be 100 pixel. So height will be 100 pixel. Now save this. You guys can see very nice logo and the very nice UI we have created this. Now it's time to add a functionality in the login.js. So on here I'm going to simply add a properties of the button. So on click, there will be a function called sign in function. So I'm going to simply create a sign in function at the very okay, and we're going to simply create a sign in function here. So we have this sign in function here. So inside of this login we will have a sign in function. So sign in just like this. So it will I'm just going to create a arrow function or callback function with the sign in here. So we have this sign in on button on click, we have this sign in function. Okay, make a arrow function just like this. Okay, fine. So for here inside of this login we have this sign in. It will take event as an object here. Okay, now in sign in we are going to use the auth here. So basically simply import the auth from the Firebase, and auth dot on sign in with pop-up. So basically, as you guys can simply click on this sign in button, there will be a pop-up opened. So sign in with pop-up here. So sign in with pop-up and simply pass the provider here. So we have this Google auth provider. So that's why we are simply passing the provider inside the arguments of here. So pass the provider here. Okay, so fine. Now save this. Let's go to the deployed version here. Now we have created, or we are done with this thing. Now click on this sign in. As you guys can see here, we have this pop-up here, and now it will ask about from which Google account you are guys going to simply you are guys going to enter in the login the deployed version here. So click on this sign in. There is a pop-up. Now you guys can see here we have this asking about the user. Okay, I think it's something happening here. Let me check first of all. Okay, as you guys can see here, we have this error here. The identity provider configuration is not found. So I think I have doing something wrong in the Firebase.js. Let's go back. Okay, we are, as you guys can see, we have this GitHub auth provider. We will have the Google auth provider instead of this GitHub auth provider. So that will be the error. That will be the error that we are facing here. So auth dot Google auth. Okay, cross this first of all. Google auth provider. Fine. Now now save this here. Let's go back. Okay, I think here something here, refresh this one more time. Firebase app default already exists. Okay, refresh this one more time. Okay, now click on this sign in. Hit the sign in. Now you guys can see here we have this pop-up, and there is okay, it is now asking about. Okay, now you guys can see here we have this Google account, and will have the bunch of options for the sign in from the Google accounts. Okay, it will fetch all that Google account that you have login inside your local machine. Fine. You guys can see here sign in with Google. Now click on any of the information. So I'm going to simply click on any of the options from here. As you guys can see, after the successful authentication, we are thrown back to the page our home page. As you guys can see here, we are thrown back to our home page. Okay, now it's time to see the payloads that we will get here. So as you guys can see here, inside of this console we have this user is IAM. Now here, as you guys can see here, we have a bunch of information of the user of the Google authentication, as you guys can see here. So basically we have this URL of the photo. Basically this is the URL of your photo of the Google profile picture. Okay, we have this display name. As you guys can see here, we have the single click information, we have the name of the email. As you guys can see here, we have a bunch of options here. We have the URL for the photo here. As you guys can see here, I am going to simply grab this URL and paste in the search bar. Now you guys can see here, we have this URL here of the photo here. So this is the URL of your profile picture. So basically we are getting all these information directly from the user after the sign in. So we are guys going to use all these functions, all these things inside this build. So how we are guys going to use this thing? So let's go here. So fine, we have successfully created a login functionality. Now it's time to create a logout functionality. So for the logout functionality, how you guys going to add that logout functionality? So here let's go back to the sidebar.js. So let's go to the sidebar.js. So inside of this sidebar.js we have a sidebar bottom. So for this sidebar bottom, as you guys can see in the deployed version here, we let me sign in again in the deployed version. So basically as you guys can see, we have the profile picture. We have the profile picture of the user at the very bottom of the sidebar. So how we will fetch the information or the profile picture of the user from it? So first of all, you guys have to simply dispatch all the information. So how you guys going to dispatch the information? So as you guys can see here, we have this URL of the photo or the photo, and clicking this, you guys will have the logout functionality. So this I'm going to simply add these things here. So how we will add this thing? So let's go here. So first of all, let's go to the here app.js. So inside of this app.js, now you guys have to simply dispatch a bunch of information here to be used inside this inside your project. So for here I will use UID, which is a unique ID. As you guys can see, a unique ID. So let me I'm going to simply show you a unique ID here. So inside of this console, so I'm going to simply show you the unique ID. As you guys can see here, I think unique ID is okay. So as you guys can see here is the UID. This is a unique ID of the user. So we will use a UID here, and we will simply pass this UID directly there. So it will be unique for each and every user. So we will going to simply dispatch the UID here. So auth user dot UID. Fine. Next we will I'm going to simply pass the email or simply dispatch the email here. So for the email, we have this auth dot user auth user dot email. So simply email is like this. We are going to simply use the display name. So display name is the username. So display name will be auth user dot display name. Display name will be the username. So I will use the display name here. So display name, and we will use the photo. So for the photo, we have this auth user dot photo URL. Okay, fine. So we are going to dispatch this bunch of information from after the login, after the successful login of the user. Now save this. Let's go back to your let's go back to the sidebar sidebar.js. Okay, so inside of this sidebar.js, we are going to simply create a, I'm going to simply create a user. So I'm going to simply create a user object here. So user, use selector, import it from, and select, we will have this select user. So simply import it from user slice, and select user simply import it from the React and Redux. Got it? Fine. Okay, import it from the React and Redux. Fine. Next, so we have this user, and now we are guys able to use any of the functionality here. So let's go at the very bottom here. So basically here, instead of this user name, we will use a user dot photo. Fine. And for this id, we will use a user dot id, and we will simply truncate the id. So how you how we guys truncate the id here, because id is a very a large string. So I will truncate it for truncate it with a 5 string unique id. So I will simply truncate the uid. So first of all, I'm going to simply show you this thing. After that, I will do the truncation here. So I have saved this. Now you guys can see here, it is, I think it is compiling. Now you guys can see here, we have these things here. So we have this photo url, so that's why it is showing just like this. And we have this unique id here. So something wrong is happening here. So I'm going to simply make it clear here. So I think there is some mishappening here. So I'm going to simply, okay, I think, okay. So for the h3, I think let's go back to deployed version. As you guys can see, we have this display name. Okay. So for this h3, we have this display name. Okay, just like this. We have this display name, and we have this user id. So basically I will simply slice the user id. So basically we have this user id with this string just like this. Okay, so for this we have this user dot uid dot, we will use a substring function. So substring, and inside of the substring I will simply use a first 5 string of this. Now save this. Now you guys will able to see here the name or okay, I think something is wrong happening. Refresh this one more time. User dot uid substring. Okay, I have misspelled the function name here. Okay, now save this. Substring 0,5. Now refresh. Okay, now you guys can see here we have this unique id here, and we have the name of the user and the display name here. Okay, now it's time to render the image. So for this avatar here, I will going to simply pass the source here. So for this, we have this user dot photo. Now save this. You guys will see the avatar will be changed with the profile picture image. Okay, as you guys can see here, it is now changed here. So we have done with this. Now it's time to change the username also here at the very top of all there. So let's go at the very top of here. So instead of this username, we have I'm going to simply pass a user dot display name just like this. Now save this. You guys can see here a single click info will render here. Okay, now you guys can see here we have these things here. Fine. Now we are going to use more information here. So basically we have done with these things here. Now it's time to simply create a message slice or the chat slice here. So we are done with this. Now it's time to simply create a chat slice. So how we are going to simply create the chat slice? Let's go back to the features, or inside of this feature we have this user slice. Let's create another file with the name of chat slice for creating a chat state. So we have this chat slice, and let's go to the user slice, copy each and everything and paste it inside this chat slice.js just like this. Fine. Now for the chat slice, we will have a unique chat ID for a different chat name, and we will have a chat ID and the chat name. So we will create a state for chat ID and for the chat name. So it's a very important stuff for the Redux stuff. So you guys just pay attention here. I am going to simply make it somehow bigger here. Okay, so for this chat slice, we will have a here I'm going to simply rename this user slice for with a chat slice, and simply rename the name here for chat. Okay, so initial state. So for the initial state, we will have a two thing. We will have a chat ID, we will have a chat ID, and we will have a chat name, chat ID, and we will have, okay, we will have a chat name. Fine, we will have this chat ID and we will have this chat name. Fine, next we will have this reducer. So I'm inside of this reducer, I'm going to simply get rid of this login and log out here. Instead of this, I'm going to simply set the chat info here. So we have this chat info, and for the chat info we will have this state, and we will have this action, state and action. Make a hero function just like this callback function, and inside of this we have this state dot chat ID. So for this chat ID, we have this action dot payload, and payload dot chat ID, just like okay, chat ID just like this. Fine, next we have this channel name. For the channel name, we have the chat name. So for the chat name, we have this action dot payload dot chat name. Got it? Now it's time to simply export all these things. So simply export here. So I'm going to simply export const set channel. Here you guys can see we have this chat info. So set chat info equals to, we have this chat slice. So chat slice dot actions. Fine. Okay, so now get rid of this. We have already export the chat info, set chat info. Now simply export the select chat ID. So basically select chat ID, and we have this state dot chat ID, and make, I think, copy the first thing, copy this and paste it down here. And instead of this chat ID, we have this chat name, simply chat name, and we have this state.chat.chat name, just like this. Okay, and instead of this user slice, make it a chat slice reducer. Now save this. Let's go to the store.js, or inside this store.js, import the chat reducer here. So chat reducer from features, and inside of this feature we have this chat slice. Okay, and inside of this reducer we have chat and chat reducer, just like this. Got it? Fine. Next, we have successfully created a chat slice, chat state here, and we have successfully created a channel, select channel chat ID or the chat name here. Okay, now it's time to add or create a chat ID, or simply push the chat to directly to the Firebase. So how we are guys going to do this? So as you guys can see here in the deployed version, as when we click on this plus icon, there is a pop-up open, and we simply pass the name of the chat or the channel name here. So this name will simply pushed to the database, and the same time, and the meantime, the name is also also reflected back in the sidebar section also. So how we are guys going to do it asynchronously or the synchronously? So let's go and create this. So let's go to the sidebar.js, or inside this sidebar.js we are guys going to add a functionality, on click functionality on the plus sign. As you guys can see here, we have this chat plus sign on this text channels here. So here inside of this sidebar.js, I am going to simply create on click functionality here. So inside here, as you guys can see here, we have this add icon here. So I'm going to simply create a on click properties here. So on click, there will be a function function being called when we will click here. So on click on the add icon, there we have, okay, I'm going to create a function. Okay, so I'm going to create a function with the name of handle chat, just like this. Okay, let's go and create a function first of all here. So inside here, I'm going to simply create a function const handle chat. So handle chat function, or inside of I'm going to simply create a handle chat function here. So handle chat function will create a chat here, or simply create a chat name here. So and here, so we have this channel name or the chat name here. So for this channel name, I will simply prompt the user, means I will simply ask the name name for the channel from the user. So it simply pass the message, enter a channel name, just like this. Got it? Okay, fine. And we will simply push this channel name directly to the database. So if there is a channel name, means if we have this channel name, then then simply push this channel name to the database. So simply db, so you guys have to simply import the db from the database. So simply import the db from the local Firebase, and so db dot collection. So db dot collection, and inside this collection we have a bunch of channels here. So inside this db dot collection dot channels, and simply add here, the add function will simply add this thing directly to the database. So we have this channel name, and for the channel name we have this channel name, just like this. Fine. Next, so it will simply push the channel name directly to the database. Got it? So we have this handle chat functionality here. Now it's time to simply render all the channels that is pushed to the database onto the sidebar. So basically this is a push functionality. Now it's time to simply add a fetch functionality. So how we are going to simply fetch the functionality? So for this I'm going to simply create a custom hook here. So I'm going to simply create a custom hook. So in this way, so we have this const channel. So we have a bunch of channels here, and simply set channels here, and we have this use state. So simply inside of this use state, initially it will be an empty array. So simply import the use state from the React. So import use state from the React. Okay, at the very top of here we have this React, and we are guys going to use use effect and use state also. Fine. So we have this use state and we have this use effect. So we have already created a custom hook here. Now the chat name is directly pushed, chat name is directly fetched from the database. So I'm going to simply show you in a real time. So let's pay some attention here. I'm going to simply save this file first of all. So I'm going to simply save this, and I'm going to simply show you a real-time fetch functionality here. So let's go here. Fine. Now let's go to the I think let's go to the Cloud Firestore here. Fine. Okay, I will show you the real-time channel that will be added directly to the database. So pay attention here. Fine. Okay, let's go to the deployed version here. Let refresh it one more time. So let it refresh this. Fine. Now on click this, there will be a prompt open. So when I click this, okay, as you guys can see here, there is a prompt open here. Now here I am going to simply pass a name. So I'm going to simply pass a name, YouTube fans. Now click on this OK. As you guys will see, this YouTube fans channel name will be pushed directly to the Fire Store in real time. When I click this, now refresh this, here you guys will see the channel name is created with YouTube fans here. Okay, when I have refreshed this, as you guys can see, it is rendering here. Now inside of this collection we have these channels. As you guys can see, we have these channels and we have this unique ID generated in a real time, random ID generated in real time, and we have this channel name with the name of YouTube fans. Let me add one more. So I'm going to simply add one more channel name here. So I'm going to simply add a channel name with the name Code with Akki. Hit the enter button. Now you will see another ID will be added here. Okay, give it some time, it will push. Okay, as you guys can see here, another ID is added here. Now click on this, you will see a Code with Akki. This is a real time and this is insane backend stuff. As you guys can see, we have seen the real time data pushed directly to the database, and you guys can see by yourself, or you guys can do it by yourself, or I think you will get these things, or I have cleared this thing. Okay, if you guys make it hard to if you have any doubt regarding this, drop a comments below. I will reply each and every comments of yours. Okay, so we have done we have shown you the real-time data upload, real-time data pushing directly to the database here. Okay, in real time. Now it's time to okay, so we have done with this. Now it's time to render the data, or simply fetching the data and simply render the data on in the sidebar section here. So for this we have created a channels here, a custom hook here. So and it's time to simply fetch the data directly from the database. So for this I am going to simply use the function a use effect. So use effect will do this, it is a callback function. Okay, so for this use effect, so inside of this use effect we have this DB, and inside of this DB we have a collection with the name of channels. Okay, I am going to use a snapshot function. It is a very important function or very handy function. As you guys can simply use this snapshot function if you are using the using a Firebase stuff here. So in here, so on a snapshot we have simply set the channels. So simply set the channels here, and inside of these channels I'm going to simply use a snapshot dot docs dot map, and it will map each and every unique ID. Okay, it will simply map each and every unique channel name by this on snapshot functionality. Okay, it will simply grab all the data from the channel collection, and it will simply map each and every channel name. Okay, just like this, and it will simply render or simply throw the ID. It will simply throw the ID and the name of the channel or the respective data from there. So we have this snapshot functionality here, and here we have ID. For this ID we have this doc.id doc.id, and we have this channel, or simply you can simply do give it another name. So we have this doc.data, just like this, and we are guys going to simply render it here. As you guys can see here, we have replicated it four times. So I'm going to simply delete the 3 sidebar channel here, and I am going to simply render it here. So basically we have these channels and simply channels.map, and I will simply map each and every channel and render this channel on the sidebar section. So channels.map, and we have two things. We have ID, and we have this channel. As you guys can see here inside the use effect here, as you guys can see here, we have this use effect. So we have this ID and we have this channel. Okay, so I'm going to simply pass a empty dependencies here. Okay, so we have this id and we have this channel here inside inside of this. Now, so basically after this there is a arrow function. I'm just going to create a callback function here. Now here I'm going to simply pass this sidebar channel here and with the following props here. So inside of this sidebar channel, I'm going to simply pass a following information as a properties here. So we will have this key, a unique key. So it will be an id. For this id we have this id just like this, and we have this channel name just like a channel name, channel dot channel name. Okay, fine. Now next we have these things. Okay, so we have this channel and channel dot channel name. So I'm going to simply give a name just like this. Fine. So let's go save this. Let's go to the sidebar channel. So here you guys can simply add the name of the channels here. So let's go back to the sidebar channel. Okay, sidebar channel channel.js. okay, not css, sidebar channel.js, sidebar channel.js. So basically here I'm going to simply destructure the following objects here. So we have the id and we have this channel name. Okay, just like this. So we have this id and we have this channel name. So I'm going to we have simply destructured the properties here using the ES6 extract. So we have this id and we have this channel name. Fine. Okay, now here we are going to simply add a on click functionality here, because as you guys can see here, on clicking this different channel id or different channel name here, you guys can see here the things is changed dynamically here and the dynamically here also. So we are going to simply add both functionality here. So I'm going to simply add on click functionality in the div here. So basically when there is an on click, there will be a function called, so I'm going to simply create, okay, I'm going to simply create a function here just like this. So on click there will be a function called, okay, so here we will use a chat state here. So how we are going to simply use this effect? So I'm going to simply create a dispatch object from the use dispatch. So simply dispatch const dispatch and use dispatch. Okay, so import it from the React Redux, and then after you will use you guys can able to, or you can simply use a channel set channel information where you guys have the unique channel id or the channel name there. So here on click I'm going to simply dispatch function. So we have this dispatch function inside of this dispatch. I'm going to simply dispatch the channel info that import it from the chat slice. So set channel info, set channel info just like this. Okay, I think, okay, make it a function here. So set channel info, and here inside of this we have channel id. So we have this, okay, we have this chat id, we have this chat id just like this id, and we have this chat name. So for the name is channel name just like this. Fine. Import it from the set channel info. I think we should import it from the chat slicer. So we have this set channel info just like this. So import this. I think inside of this dispatch we have this set channel info here. Okay, we have this chat info, not channel info. Import it from chat slice. Fine. Okay, so we have this chat ID or we have this chat name. Got it? Okay, now it's time to simply use this channel name here. So instead of this hard coded channel name, I will simply render a channel name. So we have this channel name just like this. Now save this. You guys can see okay, let's go back to here. Now you guys can see here we have this channel name, and now it is now fetched directly from the database with the YouTube fans and the code with a key that is that we have already stored or pushed into the database, and now it is showing in the sidebar section here. So you guys, yeah, you guys can see here we have both of these channels here, and we have done we have simply created a channel slice here, chat slice here, and we have both of this chat name is now rendering in the sidebar section. Now it's time to render the same name as I click on this thing or on this thing. So we will simply dispatch a bunch of information because we have simply dispatched a chat ID or the chat name on clicking this, and now it's time to simply use this dispatch function and simply render this thing inside of this username, and inside of this username inside the input field. So how we will do this? So let's go to the chat header. So inside of this chat header, let's go to the chat header first of all. So we have this chat. First of all, we have this chat.js component. Okay, so inside of this chat component, we are guys going to add that functionality here to change the channel name when we click on the different channels here. So we have inside of this chat header, we will pass the channel name as a properties. Okay, so how we will do this? So let's go here inside of this chat. I am going to create I'm going to simply create or simply use a channel name functionality here. So inside of this chat here, I'm going to simply create a ID. I'm just going to create a object of channel ID and simply use the use selector and simply import it from React and Redux. And inside of this use selector, I will simply use this select chat ID. Okay, same in this way we will have this channel name. And how will we do this? So same use selector, just like this use selector, and we will have this select chat name, select chat name, and import it from chat slice. Fine. Next, so you guys can and now here inside of this chat header, we guys can simply pass it as a props. I'm going to simply pass it as a prop. So we have this channel name, and we have this channel name, and simply pass it as a props inside into the chat header. So we have this channel name. Okay, just like this. Now save this. Let's go to the chat header.js. okay, now here you guys can see I'm going to simply destructure this. So basically we have this chat header, so channel name. So basically we have this channel name here, and here instead of this username we will use a channel name here. So use channel name here, just like this. Now save this. You guys will see the channel name will be rendered here. Okay, now you guys can see here we have this YouTube fan channel name. As we click on this code with the key or YouTube fan, now you guys can see here it is now rendering, or it is simply changes when I click on this thing. So as you guys can see here, it is now updated dynamically when we click on the respective channel or the chat name here. Fine. Okay, now let's go and add that functionality in the input field also. So how we guys going to do this? So go back to the app.js, chat.js. so here inside of this chat.js, and we have this input field. Let's go to the input field here. So we have this input field, and inside of this username here we will add this. So I will use backticks here, just like this, backticks for the placeholder here. Okay, so we have this backticks here. We will use here the channel name, just like this. Okay, I think put this thing here. Okay, I think okay, so wrap it inside h, okay, curly braces first of all, and get rid of this double quotation. Okay, so we have this message. I think there is a problem here. Grab this. Put a backtick here, and grab this backtick. Grab this backtick from here. Okay, fine. So we have this message here. I think okay, put okay. So save this. As you guys can see, the username will updated here also. Okay, so we have this. On click this, now you guys can see here we have this YouTube fan at the input field and code with a key in the input field when we click on the both of these respective channel name here. So we are done with this. Now it's time to add a message functionality or simply push the message directly to the database. So how we will do this? So here, as you guys can see here, we have this type of input is the text. Now I am going to simply add a functionality. I'm going to simply add a functionality here on change. So basically when there is on change functionality, okay, here there is an event, and here I'm going to simply create a custom hook here for the input. So I'm going to simply create a custom hook here. So let's go and create a custom hook. So const input and set input, just like this. So we have created a custom hook here, a use state, and initially it will be an empty array. So use state, and it will initially it will be an empty array. So import the use state directly from the React. So here use state use state. Fine. Next, so we have this input and set input here. So basically we will simply set the input here. Simply set the input here. So set input. Okay, and here inside of this we will simply pass the e.target.value. Okay, fine. And for this value and for the value of the input, there will be an input. Got it? Now next, we have done with this here. Fine. Now for the button, as you guys can see here, we have this class name for the button here, and we have this type of submit here. So I'm going to simply add a on click functionality here, and I will add a on click functionality and create a function here. So when on click send message, so when there will be on click, or simply when we press any enter button, we will the send message function will be called. So let's go and create a send message function. So simply create a function here, const send message, just like this. So we have this send message function. Fine. So here we will simply avoid the browser default features. So for this I will simply prevent a default feature. So here we are passing creating a function of e.prevent default. It will take care of the browser default features for auto refreshing when we click the enter button. So it will take care of that. Okay, so e.prevent default. Next, we will simply push the data directly to the database. So how we will simply push the data? So I'm going to simply push the data to the database. So we have this db and db.collection. So basically, for to use the db, you guys have to simply import it from the Firebase. So simply import this first of all. So inside of this db of collection, we have this channels, and inside of this channel we have a channel id. So for the respective channel, we have the respective channel id for that. So we have this channel id dot collection. So inside of this, I will create another collection with the name of messages. So messages, just like this, and I'm going to simply add that message. So how we will add the message? So we will add a bunch of information. So we will add the user information also. So basically, we will add the user information. We'll add the message input, means whom the user who the user will add the message, and what is the message by that user, and the timestamp. So timestamp will be the when the message is delivered. Okay, so for this timestamp we will use a Firebase. So for this, I'm going to simply import the Firebase from the actual Firebase that we have installed. So import Firebase from Firebase, actual Firebase, not a local Firebase. Got it? So time for this timestamp we will use this. So Firebase dot firestore Firebase dot firestore dot field value, sorry, not field path, field value dot server timestamp. Means if you are living in US, or if you are living in London, it doesn't matter. Okay, it will add that timestamp according to the timestamp of the server. Got it? So it will not depend on the time zone or anything. So when the message is sent, I will simply send the input back to empty. Got it? Next, so I'm going to simply create a user. First of all, I'm going to create a user object here. So simply use selector, and inside of this simply use select user, just like this. Hit the enter button. Now guys, you can see here we have this message, and when instead of the we have for the message we have this input. So what we have written inside the input field, it will simply pass it as a message, and it will simply add that message to the database. Okay, so we have created this thing here, and we are now going to simply push the message directly to the database. So are you guys excited for this message to be pushed to the database? So for this, I'm going to simply show you how we are going to simply push the message to the database. Now save this, and I'm just going to grab this here, Discord clone, and the Firebase here. Now I will show you the message that we are going to simply push it in the real time here. Got it? Okay, so basically we have this we have two channels here, all that we have already created with the name of YouTube fans, or the code with Akki. So we have two channels here. So let's go back to here. Okay, let me reload this. Okay, I will show you a real time message that we are going to push to different chat names in real time. Okay, now here I have saved this. Okay, let it render. It is rendering here. Okay, as you guys can see here, we have these two channels here that we have created with the name of channel YouTube fans, and we have this channel with the name of code with Akki. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to simply push the message inside the channel with the name of code with Akki. So as you guys can see here, we have select the channel name here, and click this. As you guys can see here, yeah, we have this code with Akki channel name, and now I'm going to simply push the message. Wow, it works. Okay, now I'm going to simply hit the enter button, and now we will see the message will be pushed to the Firebase. Okay, I have hit the enter button here. Now I'm going to simply refresh this page, and After this, you will see the message will be pushed directly to the database to the with the name of code with a key inside the chat name with code with a key. As you guys can see here inside of this message, so basically we have this message when I have shown you guys for the previous when we have refreshed it earlier, you will see there is no collection like messages here. But when I refresh this, when I send the message, and after when I refresh this page, you guys can see here we have a collection with the name of messages. And now when I click on this messages inside of this code with a key channel name, now you guys can see here we have a unique ID generated for that message, and inside of this unique ID we have this following information, the message that we have sent here directly from there. Now you guys can see here we have written the how it works. We have this timestamp and we have the user information with the display name, email, photo, and the user ID. So this is the power of Firebase or the backend, using the Firebase as a backend here. So are you guys excited, or are you guys learn these things, or if you guys have any doubt regarding this tutorial, or if you have any suggestions, or if you want any questions or query, you guys simply drop a comments below, or you guys can simply join my Telegram channel. And the link for this I will simply provide the link in the description. So you guys simply contact me on Telegram, or you guys can simply message or DM me directly on my Instagram handle. I will simply add all the links of my contacts inside the description. You guys can simply reach me out there. Okay, so as you guys can see here, we have simply pushed the data directly to the Firebase in a real time. I'm going to simply add another message, and I will show you how the data how the message is going to push in real time. Okay, here we have built an awesome clone project. Hit the enter button. Now you will see there will be a unique ID generated here, and with this unique ID you will see here we have an awesome clone project here. Now it's time to add some messages to the another channel name. So I'm going to simply add a message to the YouTube fans here. So for this YouTube fan, I'm going to simply add a message name. So here I'm going to simply pass the message, this is for you, this is for you guys, hit the enter button. Now let's go back here here inside of this channel, and we have a YouTube fans. So we have a YouTube fans, and here we have this messages, and inside of this message, as you guys will see, we have a unique ID already generated here. Now you will see a message, this is for you guys. I'm going to simply add another message here, subscribe this channel for more awesome project just like this. Hit this enter button. Now you guys can see there will be an unique ID generated here, and we have the following information here inside this message, subscribe this channel for more awesome projects just like this. Okay guys, so we have shown you a real-time data pushing directly to the Firebase, and now it's time to simply fetch all the data. So how we'll simply fetch all this data or populate all the messages on the chat screen with the respective channels from the respective channel. So for this I'm going to simply do a bunch of stuffs here. So I'm going to simply show you, or simply I'm going to add or use effect functionality. So I'm going to simply use the following things here. So let's so basically pay attention here. I'm going to simply render all the messages on the chat screen. So for this I'm going to simply create another custom hook here. So I'm going to simply create another custom hook for the messages. So for this we have this messages and set messages, just like this. So we have this messages and set messages, and I'm going to simply use a state which is a custom hook here. Initially it will be an empty array. We will have a bunch of messages here, and here after that I'm going to simply render the messages here. So I'm going to simply use the use effect functionality. So use effect, it will be a callback function here, and now it will simply depend on the channel ID. So for this respective channel we will have a different message for the different channel names. So if there is a channel ID, so basically it will depend on the channel ID. So if there is a channel ID, and here I will simply fetch that information. So we have this db.collection, and inside of this collection we have this channels, and inside of this we have this collection channel dot doc, and here we have this channel ID. Got it? And here we have this collection with the name of messages. Inside of this unique generated docs we have this message, and I will simply order the messages by a timestamp. Means the newer message or the recent message will always shown at the top. Okay, I mean descending order. So that's why we will simply order it by a timestamp in descending order. Means unique or the latest message will render at the very top. Okay, and after that all the message will be shown. I'm going to simply use a snapshot functionality here also. So inside of this snapshot I'm going to simply create an object of a snapshot here. Okay, I'm going to simply create an object for snapshot here. Fine. So here for here inside the snapshot, okay, I'm going to simply create create an arrow function here. So here we have this set message. Okay, set messages, and inside of this we have this snapshot. It will simply map out, or it will simply map each and every messages from the different chat names by using this on a snapshot functionality. So we have the snapshot docs map, or we have this doc object just like this, and here I'm going to simply pass or simply get this doc data just like this. It will simply render, or it will simply depend on the channel ID. So that's why we have to simply pass the dependency here, the channel ID. Okay, so use effect, simply import the use effect from the React here. So import the use effect here. Okay, so here we have this messages, and now it's time to simply render the messages. So here I'm going to simply render the messages. So messages, so we have this messages dot map. We will simply map each and every messages from the respective channel IDs. So we have this messages dot map, and we have this messages. Okay, just like this messages, and there will be a callback function, and here I am going to simply pass the message here, and we will pass a bunch of properties for the messages and bunch of props here. So for the messages, so we will have this timestamp first of all. So for this timestamp we have this messages dot timestamp. As you guys can see here, we have this messages dot map, and we have this message not messages, we have this message as an object here. As you guys can see at the very top inside of the use effect here, we have this on snapshot functionality. We have this set messages, and we have this doc dot data. So this data contains the message, user, and the timestamp. Got it? Okay, so we have this doc dot data here. So for the messages we have this timestamp here. As you guys can see, a message dot timestamp. I'm going to simply pass the message. So message, for the message we have this message dot message. Okay, next for the user we have this message dot user, just like this. Got it? Now save this. Okay, go back to your app message.js, and I'm going to simply destructure the following information here. So we have a timestamp, so we have timestamp, destructure this. Okay, we have this timestamp. Okay, we have a message. Okay, we have a user, just like this. So as you guys can see here in the deployed version, we have the display name and the URL of the user, sorry, the photo of the user. So how we will get these things? So here we have this timestamp message. So I'm going to simply instead of this avatar, I'm going to simply add a source for the avatar here. So for this source, we have this user dot photo. We have this source for the avatar here. Okay, so here for the instead of this hard coded username, we have this user dot display name, display name. And here for the timestamp, I will simply convert the timestamp into a in local string. So that's why it is easy for you guys to it is easy for you guys to simply get this, simply read the timestamp easily. So for this, I'm going to simply convert in a local string. So we have this timestamp. So I'm going to simply rename this. So new date, and new date, I'm going to simply convert this. So new date timestamp question mark dot to date, convert this to this, and now dot to local string. So to local string, got it? Now find, and instead of this hard coded this is message, we will simply pass it like simply give a pass here like a message. Now save this. You guys will see all the messages will be rendered on the screen to the left side, as you guys can see here. So we have done with this build here. As you guys can see here, all this information is now fetched directly from the backend database here. As I will click on this code with the key, as you will see all the messages now changed here. So here with the code with the key, we have built an awesome clone project, and wow, it works. And on the YouTube fan, you guys can see here we have this. Subscribe this channel for more awesome projects just like this, and this is for you guys. So I'm going to simply add another message here, and you will see the message will be pushed directly to this, and you will see in a real time. So I'm going to simply push this message. So wow, it works for another time. As you guys, when I hit the moment when I hit this enter button, you will see the message will pushed to the Firebase, and the message is fetched and it is rendered on the screen in the meantime. As you guys can see here, we have a very nice timestamp here, and we have the username here with the message here. Okay, as you guys can see, I'm going to simply push a message here. How are you doing, body? Hit the enter button. Now you guys can see here we have this information is rendering on the screen here. So we have successfully created these things here. Now it's time to simply add a add a logout functionality here. So when we will click on this icon, when we will click on this photo URL or the photo icon, we will simply log out from this build. So let's go to the sidebar here, sidebar.js. I'm going to simply let's go to the sidebar.js. Okay, so here at the very bottom, as you guys can see here, we have this avatar here. So I'm going to simply add on click functionality. So on click, there will be a logout function. So on click, where we have this auth.logout. Okay, just like this. So simply import this auth, okay, auth.logout, and we have this logout function. Okay, fine. Now save this. You will see you will simply log out from there. And when I save this, let's go to the deployed version here. Let it compile first of all. Okay, Okay, there is a Firebase error. Okay, so we have okay, now we have error in the logout function here because I have got that error. So you guys can see here we have Firebase Webpack imported module auth.logout is not a okay. So we are running with the error here. So basically I think there is not a logout functionality here, so I'm going to simply use auth dot logout is not a function, sign out. Okay, I think there will be a sign out, not logout, it will be a sign out function. Okay, auth dot sign out, just like this. I think auth dot sign out. Okay, and it I think it will be a callback function, so that so I make it a empty arrow function, just like this. Got it? Now save this. Now save this. Okay, I think let's go to the sidebar.css, and here we have this profile avatar. So we have this profile avatar. I think we don't have this profile avatar. Let me see. Let me find the first of all avatar. I don't have, we don't have this. So I'm going to simply add on I will simply change the cursor for this sidebar profile avatar here. So simply we have this sidebar profile, and we have this avatar. Let me cross check one more time. We have this sidebar profile avatar. Got fine. So we have this sidebar profile avatar, and here I will simply change a cursor to pointer. Now save this. Let's go here. Now you guys can see we have this. Now when we click on this, okay, I will show you. Okay, when we click on this profile picture, we will simply thrown back to the login page, because we will log out from here. And when I click this, as you guys can see here, we have logged out here. Okay, so we have created this full-fledged Discord clone, a full stack Discord clone using a Firebase backend, React as a front end. Okay, Google authentication powered by the Firebase material UI for all the icons here. So I'm going to simply show you a full-fledged authentication here. Okay, now if you guys want to deploy this project directly to the Firebase, you guys have to simply pass a bunch of information, or you guys have to simply do a bunch of steps here. So I will show you how you guys can simply deploy the following project on the Firebase. So we have already deployed the project on the Firebase in my previous build. So if you guys have not watched the Facebook clone or the Twitter clone or the Telegram clone, you guys all these links of the respective videos, you will get all these links in the description or in the cards or in the cards to the top right of your screen. Okay, we have created a Redux, and this is my third React Redux project. Earlier we have created a iMessage clone, Apple's iMessage clone. We have created a Telegram clone, and this is the Discord clone. So this is the third React and Redux project that I have done, and we have created a this is my sixth or I think this is my 8th clone project in React. So if you guys have not watched my previous 7 videos, you will simply get all the videos inside in the links, and all these links you will get in the description. I have created a playlist with the name of clone project in React.js and the React.js projects. These two playlists you will get from my channels page, or I will drop the link in the description. So if you guys have excited for this, or if you guys enjoyed this build, or if you guys have any suggestions, queries, or any doubt, you guys are feel free to ask any of your doubt in the comments below. You will drop your message on Instagram, on my Instagram handle, or you guys can simply raise your doubt or your suggestions to my Telegram channel. You guys simply reach me out there. So that's it in this build. We will create a video meet application in my next build in Node.js, React.js. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you have not subscribed this channel, then subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon, so never